What's up, gamers and collectors? DGC back with another video, and today we're doing a tag video. Tylords Stevenson tagged me, my good buddy, in a 10 questionnaire video that he did, that he got tagged in by Retro Tiburon, his good buddy. And then I'll tag some people here at the end of the video from me, and then you can go watch their videos before and after me tagging and them tagging, and lots of tagging of people. And then I don't even know how far it goes back. I have no idea. Probably a ways. But let's see if we can get it to everybody in the gaming community to make a video. That'd be kind of cool. So let's jump in and check it out. Alright, to address the elephant in the room real quick, I changed positions here from the typical game shelf over to the computer area because I have all the 360 exclusives alphabetized lined up here, and then I was looking through them all to see what I still needed. It's roughly about 15 games. Back in the day, people used to send in games to complete the OG Xbox series to get the alphabetized list out faster, but I no longer have a P.O. box to have people send stuff in, so can't really do that anymore. It was too expensive to keep the P.O. box open because nobody was really sending stuff after a certain point in time. But yeah, I need roughly about 15 more games for the 360. Really only 2 of them, 2.5 of them are kind of expensive. The other ones, well, okay. Maybe 6 of them are like $40, $50 games, and then 2 of them are like $75 to $100 games. So I guess there's still kind of some expensive ones here. But there's still a few cheapies on here that I need for the Forza games. Those are cheapies that I can find pretty much anywhere, so that's cool. But that's why I switched the camera over to this angle. So first question is, and some of these questions I feel like should have been elaborated on a little bit better, and I'll talk about that when I get to them, just from me reading them, but either way. What type of games do you play? Me, meaning me. Pretty much everything, really. There's really nothing I won't try. I will try everything. I've even tried graphic novel games on the PlayStation Vita when the Vita was still like current. I was like, well, these are a thing, so I'll try it. I forget which one it was. I happened to be at GameStop one time. It doesn't even exist anymore. It was in the Harbor Center in Annapolis. Shout out if you've ever been to that one. Well, it doesn't exist anymore, so you can't go now. But I happened to be looking at their Vita games. This is a long time ago. This was pre-channel. Well, obviously, because the Vita's been dead since the channel. But, so I was looking at the Vita games, and I don't even remember what it was, but it was one of the graphic novel games that came out stateside, and because there weren't many that came out here. And I remember picking it up and like looking at the cover. I'm like, well, whatever, I'll try it. And I tried it for like 20 minutes, and I was like, this is not for me. So those are kind of weird, but everything else, pretty much gaming-wise, I'll play for the most part. And then it says, question number 2, how much time do you spend on gaming? So this is where I was going to kind of denote, this question should really have a more of like daily or weekly or monthly or like yearly, like kind of denotation there of like how much, like it's kind of a broad question, but I'm going to answer that the best I can. How much do I personally spend? Typically at least try to play an hour a day. If I can. I don't always have time to do it though. Like on Saturdays, I typically try to make a video, and then Sundays it gets uploaded, and then I have to work, and then Monday to Friday I'm working. So like, really, if I'm lucky, I get to play about an hour a night, which isn't bad. Sometimes I get to play 2 or 3, depending on how long it takes me to get home, cook dinner, clean dinner, mow the lawn, do laundry, do all the other fun adult things, and then if I'm lucky, I get to play some games. So that's kind of fun. So that's basically how much I play weekly. Now, before I had to have a weekend job, 4 years ago to be exact, before I had to have a weekend job, that's a hint at something. But when I didn't used to have a weekend job to afford things, I would play every day, every Sunday. I would play the shit out of some games. I would make the video on Saturday. I would upload it on Sunday. I would interact with you guys in the comments on Sundays while I was just playing games all day. I would go to the grocery store early on a Sunday, and then the whole rest of the Sunday I would just play games pretty much the entire goddamn day. and it was fantastic. And I did that for the better part of probably 20 years of my life. Sunday was like, the family knew Sunday, don't bother him, he's playing games all day. So that was kind of my ritual back in the day. Sadly, don't get to do that anymore. Next question number 3. Do you think gaming can be educational? So I would say yes and no. No in the sense of like Call of Duty is just a mindless shooting game. As someone who played Grand Theft Auto when he was 12, so 2002, 2003 in that time frame, definitely should have been playing it, but that was before GameStop carded children. That was at Arundel Mills Mall, where they used to have 2 GameStops in the same mall on both opposite sides. Bought that around my birthday of whatever, 2002 or 2003 for the PS2, Vice City. All the homies came over for like a sleepover, and I remember playing Grand Theft Auto. Good times. But yeah, so is Grand Theft Auto educational? Is Call of Duty educational? No. But there are Mahjong games, there are Sudoku games, they're the Brain Age games, which can be educational. And that is one thing I do miss about the DS and the 3DS, how you could like open it up and then like turn it, sideways, and then it would be kind of like a book. Like Nintendo, if they were, I mean, they're never going to go back to it now. I'm not going to say never, but if they, like the Switch 2, if it does, there's leaks and rumors, which nobody fucking knows what they're talking about. All that shit's just made up bullshit to get clicks and views. But let's just say hypothetically it does come out and it does have 2 screens. If they were to do that and then like partner with Amazon and have it to where it could like also be a Kindle thing too, and have actual books on there, and then even like bring back Brain Age games and Mahjong and chess and checkers and that kind of shit on the Switch too, that would be really cool. And then it could be like kind of educational and that kind of stuff. So gaming could be educational, but they choose not to because there's really no money in that, I guess. I don't know. But as it sits now, gaming's not really educational. It's really just more for fun, in my opinion. Well, on a side note, I guess you could also use the argument that it, I wouldn't say it's educational, but you do get good hand-eye coordination out of gaming, and then you also, I don't know, when I was growing up, and I guess most of my audience is the same age, when I was growing up, my parents would always be like, you're going to burn your eyes out sitting that close to the TV. Talking about tube TVs, not high-def TVs, but like, because, as a little kid, I'd sit like 3-4 feet away, just zoned in like this. You're going to burn your eyes out. And obviously I never did. I still have like 20/20 vision. I'm 35, so didn't happen, Mom. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know that that's really educational either. That's more of a health thing. But I feel like there was a lot of assumptions about gaming and stuff when I was growing up that never really happened. Like my eyes are not fucked up, my hearing's not fucked up, my hands are still fine. Like there's a lot of us. Now that's not to say when all of us get really old, like 70s, that stuff may not happen. But it hasn't happened to us yet. Right? Although there is that weird thing with the headsets where people get the droop in the head. I've never been a headset guy. I don't like wearing headsets personally. Whenever I do, I always have one cup on and one on the back. I've never liked wearing headsets. I find them very uncomfortable personally. Let's see. Why do you like gaming so much? That's question number 4. For me, and this actually really reminded me of Dean, Escape to Gaming, and the reason I'm bringing him up is his name on YouTube is Escape to Gaming. For me, the reason I like gaming so much is because it is my escape from reality, which I assume, and that's kind of how he came to that YouTube name would be my guess. I've never asked him, but I imagine that's how he got to that name. It's my escapism. It's my way of getting away from having to listen to my mom talk about sick family members, because that sucks. I don't want to hear that about sick family members, but it lets me escape from that and not have to hear about it. It lets me escape from bills, debt, credit, dealing with, car payments, grocery store bills, just all the different things that we all have to deal with. When you're gaming, you're zoned in, you're locked in. You don't have to deal with that. You get to escape reality, and that's why I like gaming so much. Should a grown man like it as much as I do? I don't know, but I do. Most of you do, and that's why you're subscribed to me and watch a bunch of gaming YouTube stuff, because that's what we enjoy doing. All right, then the next question, again, this was kind of not worded the best in my opinion, because it really should be kind of worded as in how much do you spend on average monthly or yearly, where just the question was very broad in the sense of how much do you spend on gaming on average. I'm going to answer this monthly, yearly. Monthly, anywhere from 100 to 300 probably would be my guess, and then yearly, let's do some basic math there, anywhere from like 1,500 to 2,500 a year probably on gaming, really excluding console launch years, because obviously when Series X, PS5, and then Switch OLED came out, I got the PS5 first, then I got the Series X next, and then I got the OLED after that. I traded in my launch Switch, got rid of that, and then the Xbox, I just paid outright for that, and same with the PS5. But yeah, I mean, I kind of bought, all that was obviously, I don't know, like 500. This is like $1,400-$1,500 for that. So that's an expensive year when the consoles come out. But typically, and then plus all the game, oh man, kind of makes you, when you think about it, you kind of feel bad about spending that money. But yeah, so that's generally about how much I spend. Some months less, some months more. It just kind of fluctuates. Favorite console. So for me, this was kind of easy to answer, but also hard to answer. My favorite console is right here. Unfortunately, you can't see it, but that's my GameCube. That's my old trusty girl right there. I got that in the Christmas. It was either 01 or 02. I don't know for sure. I can't remember. I love telling this story because it just really brings me back to a good memories and good times. It was whatever Christmas that 01 or 02. I can't remember. Zoids was a really big thing for me and my group of friends. We were super into that, the anime, building the Zoids, all that shit. We would like make giant battles in my backyard and their backyard and shit, like in sand pits and dirt fields. And we played the fuck out of some Zoids back in the day. So the reason I bring that up is for Christmas that year I had a bunch of clothes. No kids like getting clothes, especially boys. We don't like getting clothes. A bunch of clothes. Then there was like 3 or 4 Zoids that I got. And then like my sister, I have one sister, she's sitting there tearing open presents still, just going to town on it. And then I'm like, what the fuck? Where's the rest of my, like, what the fuck? So I didn't say anything because obviously it's Christmas time, but I'm like, this is kind of whack. Like, why am I sitting here doing nothing and you're just unloading on some clothes over there? Because she's a girl, so obviously they enjoy getting clothes. So she's just unloading on some clothes. My mom's opening some presents. My dad's opening some presents. And then my dad, like at the end, oh, okay, that was a good Christmas. Yeah. And then at the end, my dad's like, I think we might have left something downstairs. So I'm like, okay. So I go look, and sure enough, my dad had, I didn't even notice at the time that he had bought carpet. I don't even know how he got this shit in the house without me knowing about it, but he did, because I just never used to go in the basement. Big thing of carpet, it was probably, I don't know, 20 feet by 20 feet, maybe 25 by 25, I don't know. And then our old couches were lined up around it, 3 of them. He had set up a little TV, 32-inch RCA TV, tube TV, and then a TV stand. There was like a bookshelf next to it. So he got those for me. And then his leather chair, it was like an egg leather chair that was just always in the basement for, it just didn't match and whatever. So it was always in the basement. And then I look over at the chair and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Oh, there are some presents down here. It was a GameCube. It was this GameCube sitting in a box, wrapped up, and then 1 extra controller, 1 memory card, Mario Sunshine, Metroid Prime, Godzilla, Destroy All Monsters Melee. Best Christmas I ever had. Favorite console of all time. Still love this girl to this day. Whenever I move in, it's always the first. I've moved 4 times now. Whenever I move in, that's the first girl that gets plugged in. Every time. Every time. It's kind of tradition at this point. And then whenever, so fun fact, I have a sealed copy of Mario Dance Dance Revolution for the GameCube with the jump pad and everything, or dance pad, whatever. I bought that with Cousin Nico. It's in one of the way long time ago pickups videos with Cousin Nico. It's still sealed. I bought $75. I think they go for $300 to $500 now. It's still not open. It's been inside of another box for 5 years now. The plan is whenever I can actually afford a home, I'm going to unbox that, and you guys are going to watch me play some Mario Dance Dance Revolution on my GameCube, whenever I finally get it my own home, which would be kind of cool. So I was kind of saving that, but hopefully that'll happen one day. I feel like that would be kind of funny to laugh at me play some Dance Dance Revolution. Watch a fat kid play some Mario Dance Dance Revolution. But yeah, so favorite console, GameCube. The reason I kind of had to think about this was because second favorite console, probably OG Xbox. Third favorite console, probably 360. Fourth, Dreamcast. And then at fifth, I'm going to have to say probably PS4. Probably PS4. Favorite handheld, not that that's really a question on here, but I'm going to say it, 3DS. Favorite video game of all time. So, no doubt about it, the first game that I ever played, first game that I ever owned, was Donkey Kong Country 1 for my Super Nintendo, which is down here. That was my sister's and mine's system that we got to share in 1994. It was the Donkey Kong Edition box, which I've shown a few times. I still have it. I have the console. Very sentimental to me. Every time I turn it on, I turn into my four-year-old self every time I turn that game on. The Rare logo shimmers and shines, and it makes the iconic noise of Rareware back in the day when they were still a good company before Microsoft destroyed them. And just the music from David Wise, and just everything about Donkey Kong Country. There is no better platformer, and I'll say this, than Donkey Kong Country 1. There is nothing 2D wise. There is no better platformer than Donkey Kong Country 1. You can't beat it. It is the best one. I don't really care what your opinion is. It's the best one. The music, the graphics, the level design, the platforming of it, the collectibles, the secret stages, the bonus rooms, just everything about it was just so well done and well thought out. And it's still, to this day, is just so magical of a game to play. It just is. It just is. Second, third, fourth, fifth games. This was not on the questions, but I'm going to answer it anyway. Next favorite would probably be Prime, Metroid Prime 1, just because it was the first game that I played 3D-wise that was mine on my own console, so it just really holds sentimental value to me. Probably Halo next, because that was the first, the OG Xbox was the first console that I bought for myself, and it was the Halo Edition, which is actually right here. Halo Edition Xbox that came with Halo. I bought one additional Duke for it. I immediately called my best friend Chris up as soon as I got home. Hey dude, got Halo, come play co-op. One of the best weekends of my life. We just played co-op Halo all night, and it was just fantastic. So Halo 3, third favorite game there probably. Sunshine, because again, played that after I played Metroid Prime, that first day with the GameCube, and just fell in love with it. And then one of my later experiences with the OG Xbox, and unfortunately, it was really one of Rare's last great games, was Conquer Live and Reloaded. Playing that online, boy, was that shit fun as hell. If you've never played the multiplayer for Conquer Live and Reloaded, you're missing out. Because one, you can play it with the bots, and the bots are actually pretty good. So like if you can't hook up to the Insignia Xbox Live service and you just want to play the game with bots, it's hella fun. You will have a blast playing that. But playing that on live when it was still fresh and new, oh my god, was that shit amazing. And then the campaign, amazing. This game still looks amazing to this day. Those are my top 5 favorite games. Not that that was the question, but you know me, I like to do things my own way. Favorite gaming movie. So this I had to really think about. So like the Sonic movies, they really surprised me. They're very good. I actually really enjoyed them. Kind of excited about Shadow being Keanu Reeves because Keanu Reeves is dope. Shadow is dope. And then the Mario movie was actually pretty good. I was surprised I enjoyed it as much as I did. It was pretty good. I didn't think all those characters were cast well, and then I watched it and I was like, whoa, dude, you were completely wrong. All these characters were cast very well. And it was an amazing movie. The Mortal Kombat movies from the 90s, you know, those are iconic as fuck. The Street Fighter movie. All those movies are great. But for me, and this surprised me when I thought about it, because I hate horror movies. I can watch them, but I just really don't like to because it freaks me out. Because the only time I have to watch movies like that would be at nighttime, right before you go to bed. Then you hear something in the house. You hear the floor creak. And then you're like, oh my god, I'm about to get murdered in my house in the middle of the night. So like, I don't like watching horror movies. It's just something I don't like to do. But my favorite gaming movies, and I don't even know that they are horror movies, but the Resident Evil movies, just love them to death. They're just fantastic, in my opinion, good movies. They're just really good, well done, cheesy horror movies with like shitty. They're older now, so like the CGI is like, it's okay, but it's not great. Some of it hasn't aged too well. And then I'll even say the Resident Evil series that they did on Netflix, while it wasn't the greatest, it wasn't bad either. Like I kind of enjoyed it. Maybe I just really love Resident Evil. Zombies to me aren't really scary. Like if a zombie outbreak ever really did happen in real life, which obviously probably unlikely, but whatever, I don't know. I'm not a future teller. I feel like I'd be pretty prepared. Zombie games is like one of my favorite genres of gaming. Just love zombies for some weird reason. So hopefully that answers that question. Favorite game character. This one was tough for me. Because like obviously I love Donkey Kong himself. I love Diddy. I love Trixie. I love Kiddy Kong. Right? Obviously because the trilogy of Donkey Kongs is essentially my favorite game, but the first one I like the most. 1, 3, 2 is how I like the Donkey Kong trilogy, personally. And then, you've got Master Chief, obviously, super iconic, great character. Obviously, Mario, dope as fuck. Conker, funny. One day, I just pray Microsoft and Phil Spencer gets his head out of his ass and just brings back some OG Xbox exclusives. I'm talking Mechasoul, Bloodwake, Conker, Armed and Dangerous, just anything from the OG, anything. There's so many exclusives for the OG Xbox, and there's so many exclusives to the 360 that they could bring back, but they just don't. Sidetracking here, but so favorite character for me, I really had to sit there and think about it. It's Samus. So when I popped in Metroid Prime for the first time, got in, watched the beautiful graphics and the logo, and then you fly down to the spaceship or satellite, whatever you want to call it, and she jumps off the ship, and then it like zooms into her helmet, and then you're in first person, you see the cannon here, and then like you just hear that ambient space music noise coming in, and then just the bass. Like now that I've played this with a surround sound system, god damn, that shit was bumping back in the day. I didn't have a sound system back then, but dude, Metroid Prime with a sound system, choice. But so yeah, Samus, and then you go on this epic adventure, and then like, obviously I knew it was a woman. Like I'd known that because I had played the NES game. Well, no, I guess I hadn't played the NES game at that point because that was pre-collecting. That led into the collecting it eventually. Obviously, turned into this and this, but that would have been pre-playing Metroid on the game on the NES. But either way, I still knew it was a woman. And that never bothered me. Like Samus is just a badass character. She really is. Like gets raised by the Chozo, alien bird people. And then she goes on an epic space adventure fighting space pirates and fighting Ridley and Kraid and all these different things. And just a cool character. Just a badass character. And the design of it, the way that they brought it into 3D. And even just the 2D versions also look dope. But like the Metroid Prime suit, they just nailed it and it was perfect. And everything about it. Metroid Prime is for 3D what Donkey Kong Country was for 2D. In the sense that like, they were just both so breathtaking. The music is just perfect. The level design is perfect in both games. Just everything. Like, I don't think that there could be a more perfect platformer than Donkey Kong Country 1. And I don't think there could be a more perfect, space adventure than Metroid Prime 1. 2 and 3 are good, but 1 is it is the best one. Like, there's no disputing that. But yeah, so Sam is my favorite character. Sorry I got on a little side tangent there, but whatever. Least favorite type of game. So I've already kind of answered this with the initial question. But for me, it's really two types of games. The novel games, I just don't understand it. Like if you want to just read something, just read a book. Like I just don't get it. Like it's the same thing for sports video games. Just watch real sports or go play real sports. Like I don't get that unless you're like a quadriplegic, then sure, play some sports games, but like otherwise just watch real sports or go play them in real life. Like, I've never understood why you would play sports on a game. That's just me personally. Maybe like Mario ones, because it's like you're playing as Mario, but like I just don't get it myself. But whatever, to each their own. And then Souls games. For me, Souls games, they're just whack as fuck. I hate them. They're just dumb. They're overrated. I think everyone, and this is just my personal opinion, I think people pretend they like Souls games to think that they're edgy and they're hardcore and that they can play difficult games. I don't think people actually really like these games that much. I really don't. It's just my personal opinion. I think people pretend that they like Souls games to seem edgy and hardcore and that they're good at gaming. You're not good at gaming unless you can beat Gears on Legendary and Halo on Legendary. Then you're good at gaming. Okay, that's how you used to prove your salt in gaming back in the day. That you could beat Halo on Legendary. To this day, I think I have beaten every single one of them. Actually, not 4. I think Halo 4 is probably my least favorite Halo. Just multiplayer was good as fuck, but the single player was just garbage, in my opinion. So I played it one time and I never went back to it. Probably should maybe go back and then play it on Legendary, because then I could say I've done them all on Legendary. But yeah, those are my least favorite types of games. Souls games, just don't like them. And then novel games, just don't understand it. Just, for me, just don't get it. Just don't get it. That's going to wrap it up, guys. Be sure to leave a comment down below if you don't actually have a channel of some of these answers to these questions. Just out of curiosity, I'd love to know what you do or don't like. Tell me that I'm wrong, that Souls games are awesome. Reading novel games on a TV is awesome. I don't know. Maybe playing Madden football on the TV is awesome instead of just watching real football. Maybe it is. I have no idea. You let me know in the comments below. So for this video, I'm going to nominate Mizza T and Rocker Gaming. I would imagine Mizza T will probably make a video, because I'm just going to text him right now and tell him to do it. And I'll text Rocker as well. And hopefully they'll both do it. And then I'll even nominate Baltimore Retro Gaming. He hasn't been making videos in a while. He streams still, but he doesn't make any videos in a while. So maybe he will. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully at least one of them makes a video. Thank you, Tylord, for including me in this. I appreciate it. This was fun. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Next week I hope to plan on getting out some kind of Xbox and or 360 video, because it's been quite some time since I've actually done a good video other than these types of videos. So hopefully we'll get something good out. As always, peace out for now, guys. Till next time.
Come here, you mother...